everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and today's video is going to be a Halloween Fairyloot themed reading vlog where I read 4 spooky-ish Fairyloot books. So before I get into what books I'm going to be reading in this vlog, please remember to like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe for more bookish content. And we'll get into the books I'm going to be reading for this vlog. So I don't really know too much about any of these books. What I'll do is I'll tell you which ones I'm going to read, and then as I'm reading them, tell you a little bit about what each one is about. So the first one I'm hoping to read is Bonesmith by Nikki Powell Preto. I have read this author before. I think the first book in her other series is called like Crown of Feathers. It's about Phoenix Riders and that was really cool. So I'm really interested to get into this one. The next one I'm going to be reading is If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. Don't know anything about this one. The next one is going to be Evocation by S.T. Gibson. I did try and read A Dowry of Blood by this author and I really did not like it and I DNF'd it. It wasn't very good in my opinion, so I'm a bit hesitant to go into this one, but I'm going to give it a try because the writing style is very different. So we'll see what I think of this one. And then finally, we're going to be reading The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This one I am actually quite interested in. I remember unboxing it a few months ago and I thought it sounded really interesting. And also, like, the cover's really gorgeous. I mean, the cover's gorgeous on all of them. So yeah, we're going to start with Bonesmith by Nikki Powell Preto. Hey everyone, so I'm just checking in. I have now started reading Bonesmith by Nikki Powell Preto. I'm just about 80 pages in. I'm really enjoying this one so far. So I'll briefly explain what this one's about. I don't know if I'm going to do a very good job because there's a lot of terminology kind of being thrown at us. And I do understand it, but trying to explain it when I'm only 80 pages in is a bit like, ugh. We're following our main character Wren, and her grandmother is the head of the House of Bone. Now in this world there's different like smiths and there's different houses. So the House of Bone are bonesmiths, House of Ghosts are ghostsmiths, House of Iron are ironsmiths, House of Stone are stonesmiths, etc. You get the gist of it. So Wren's dad is the heir to the House of Bone, but he's not the preferred heir. The preferred heir was his brother who died in a war, like I think before Wren was born. I think she was conceived like during the war, and her grandmother despises her because she was born out of wedlock. Her father was betrothed to like a princess, and Wren being born ruined that, even though it's not actually Wren's fault, it's her dad's fault. So yeah, there's 2 types of bonesmiths. There's reapers and there's valkers, which I think I'm pronouncing right. I'm not sure of the pronunciation of that. So the reapers and the valkers work together in pairs, and the reaper like uses their swords to trap ghosts, and the reapers harvest the bone, like they disconnect the bone from the ghost somehow. It is explained, but I'm not going to explain it very well, to be honest with you. In order to become a fully fledged bonesmith, at the moment they're novices, they have to pass something called the bone trial. Wren and her reaper have harvested 3 bones, they've completed the trial, and then her reaper betrays her and gives the bones to her cousin Inara. Now Inara is like a thorn in her side kind of thing. She's always causing trouble for Wren. Her grandmother loves Inara. She doesn't love Wren. They dig this hole and trick Wren into falling into it. What they don't realise is they've actually uncovered a mass grave from like years and years and years ago. But when Wren's down here trying to escape, she actually finds a relatively fresh body, and she finds a ring which she thinks is made by an ironsmith, which is apparently very odd because like they've been banished or something. I'm not quite sure. It's very odd. She manages to escape the pit, makes it back to like the House of Bone, and before she doesn't even have a chance to explain herself, which really annoys me. Like Wren's grandmother, like considering she's a mature woman, like doesn't even give Wren, nobody gives Wren the chance to explain herself. They all just believe Inara, and I understand Wren's a bit of a troublemaker, but this just really isn't fair. And then she gets exiled to the border wall, which is the last line of defense against something called the Wasteland of Breach, where the vicious dead roam unchecked. So that's where we've gotten up to so far, and Wren has just met a character who was the House of Bones sort of matriarch, her favourite son's reaper. So she's kind of aware of Wren, and yeah, that's where we've gotten to so far. I have to say the world and the magic is really interesting, and despite my probably terrible explanation of it, it is actually really well explained, and I think we're going to learn a lot more as Wren learns a lot more about this world. Obviously she's not in the place that she's expected to be, and I don't know what's going to happen to sort of further this plot anymore. I don't know why kind of the authors put her here, but I'm really interested to see what's going to happen and how maybe this could get her back into the House of Bones sort of good books. I don't know. But yeah, really, really interesting, really good world building as well. Like, this author, I've read her Crown of Feathers series, like I explained in the intro, and I don't think that gets enough love on BookTube. That's a fantastic series, and again, like, just fantastic characters, fantastic world building. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. I wasn't sure if I was going to, because like necromancy, that kind of thing, is not really my thing. Like, I read Gideon the Ninth and I liked it, but I didn't carry on with the series, didn't really enjoy it. And then I read some sort of like necromancy series by Beth Rivers. I can't think of what that was called. I didn't really enjoy that. Pleasantly surprised at this one. Not that this is necromancy, but it's like ghosts kind of thing, like, and bone magic, like kind of similar to necromancy. But yeah, really enjoying this one, and I'm really excited to carry on and yeah, read a bit more this evening. So I'll check back in with you guys when I've got another update for you. So I'm just checking back in. I have now just gotten over the 300-page mark of Bonesmith. I'm still really enjoying this one. As we're delving more into the plot, we're learning a lot more about the world, how it's not magic, but like, yeah, how the sort of magic in this world works, which is really cool. And we're learning that maybe everything that she's been told isn't quite true. There's a lot that maybe even the Bonesmiths have been misinformed about, kind of thing. So yeah, it's really interesting, and the plot kind of went somewhere I wasn't really expecting. So not long after I last updated, the Crown Prince, so he's not the heir, he's not the spare, he's the spare's spare, so he's like the third born son. So he comes to visit the wall where Ren is now stationed, and the person who's supposed to be taking care of Ren falls ill, so she's not able to attend to the prince and like demonstrate the magic and stuff, so Ren does. And then they go on this tour outside, and the prince ends up being kidnapped. He was actually aware that he was going to get kidnapped. His cousin, who's like his minder, betrayed him to someone, and he didn't know who that someone was, so he wanted to get kidnapped to kind of find out what's going on. The kidnappers, one of the kidnappers, Julian, is actually portrayed by the rest of the kidnappers, and him and Ren team up to like retrieve the prince, find out what's going on, and that's when they kind of uncover a lot more about this world. And I was expecting Ren's love interest to be Leo, just because of like the banter that they had at the beginning of this book. I'm starting to think it's now Julian, which is really interesting. Julian lives beyond the wall. He's a ironsmith who were like banished after the war, which is really interesting, and he's kind of challenging some of her beliefs as well, which is really nice to see. And yeah, I think the plot is so interesting. Like, I'm so interested in this world. Like, yeah, I'm really excited to finish this one, and I'm hoping that the final sort of 150 pages or so that I've got are as good as the rest of the book, because yeah, this one is absolutely fantastic so far. So I'm gonna get finishing that one, and I'll check back in when I'm done. But completely unrelated, I have actually just been to Waterstones, and I just picked up this book, and oh my god, is this not the cutest cover like you've ever seen in your life? Like, this is so cute. Yeah, anyway, completely unrelated, but I just had to do that cute book. Hi guys, so I'm just checking back in. I have now finished Bonesmith by Nikki Powell Preto, and yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to give this one 4 stars. I'm so glad that I finally got to this. I've been wanting to read this one for ages, but I wanted to save it for sort of like Halloween spooky season. Yeah, really loved this one. The world building was fantastic. The magic sort of system was explained really well. The characters were really interesting. There was a few twists at the end. A couple of them I kind of saw coming. They were hinted throughout, and I am getting a bit better at seeing foreshadowing in books now. So yeah, I did see a couple of them come in, but a couple of them did really take me by surprise. But yeah, really enjoyed this one, and I have already pre-ordered the second book in the series, the matching Fairyloot edition, and hopefully that'll be here. I think it says it's going to ship November, December time. So yeah, really excited to get to that one. But yeah, really love this one and highly recommend. So I think the next book I'm going to start for this vlog is If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. I don't know anything about this one. Oh, that was a bit of a crack on that. So I'll just read the synopsis. It says, Cara's just trying to stay on top of all of her classes, excel at her extracurriculars, and prepare for college, which means not speaking to the dead, an ability she inherited from her grandmother. Ghosts are trouble, and Cara doesn't need to add their problems to her own. But then she stumbles upon the body of Zach, the super popular but very newly dead high school golden boy, in the woods, and guess what? He wants her to resurrect him. Cue trouble. Ooh, so spooky. Ghosts. Oh my god, look how cute. Okay, this is actually stunning. Yeah, I'm going to read this one next. So, cute little ghost story. Let's go. Hey guys, so I'm just checking back in. I have now started reading If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. It's in my book sleeve, so you can't see it, so I'll just hold up the sleeve. I'm enjoying this one so far. So we're following our main character, Cara, and she is a ghost speaker, which means she can speak to ghosts. And she has like a rivalry with a boy in her class. He's very rich, he thinks he can tell everyone what to do, and she really doesn't like him. They get paired up for a science project together, and they're supposed to meet in her tree house to work on the project together. He doesn't turn up. As she's leaving, she discovers that he is in fact dead, and she sees his ghost. He discovers that she can speak to ghosts because obviously he is a ghost, and it turns out her grandmother is dead as well, and she is a ghost that spends a lot of time with Kara. Kara's mother doesn't like the whole ghost speaker thing. She doesn't want Kara to have anything to do with it, so this is all kept a secret from her mother. Zach is the boy who died, so her grandmother discovers that Zach was bitten by a specific kind of snake, and they have like 7 days from when he was bitten to find the antidote and he can be resurrected. So that's where we've gotten up to so far. They've decided that they're going to try and resurrect Zach. Yeah, it's fun. Like I think it's going to be a very quick read. It didn't take me long to read the first 100 pages. I don't think it's going to be like a standout read for me, but I do think it's going to be fun. Like, it's a bit of like a enemies to lovers romance with a little bit of spooky vibes thrown in. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully I can probably read a bit more this evening and then maybe finish it tomorrow morning. Shouldn't take me too long, but yeah, this one is quite cute. Like, the sort of rivalry that they have is kind of funny, like quite sweet really. And yeah, it's, you know, it's a fun YA, and I think that's all it's going to be. Just a bit of fun, not really anything worth raving about. But yeah, enjoying it so far, and yeah, I personally think this cover is absolutely stunning. So yeah, we'll carry on reading, and I'll check back in when I've got another update for you guys. Hey guys, so I'm checking back in. I have now finished If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. I was going to check in maybe when I was about halfway, 3/4 of the way through this book, but to be honest, I didn't actually really have that much to say, and I still don't really. I gave this 3 stars. I liked it. It was a fun YA fantasy. Was the magic sort of explained very well? Not really. Like, one of the characters just sort of suddenly develops powers. Well, actually, they both do. They just suddenly develop random powers that have no explanation. They don't really look into it. They just kind of go with it. There was a sort of random character that they meet on their quest to bring Zach back to life called Brittany. And I don't really understand what she added to the story, to be honest. Like, she was just kind of irrelevant. Like, she added a bit of lore to the ghost hunters, ghost speakers. The lore wasn't really even necessary to the story. Like, she didn't add anything to the story, in my opinion. Like, this was fun. There's no sequel on Goodreads, but the epilogue definitely sets up for a sequel, which I will not be reading. I'm quite happy to leave this here. It was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was. Is it the best thing ever written? No. Like, the romance was quite cute. Like, it was just cute. It was a good time, and I'm probably never going to think about this book ever again in my life. So yeah, that's that one done. I don't know which one I want to read next. Like, I really want to read The Honey Witch because I want to read that more than Evocation. I am quite scared of this book, if I'm being honest. Which one shall I read? I'm going to go with The Honey Witch because I do want to read this one more than the other one. But yeah, so yes, I'll read maybe like the first 100 or so pages and then come back in and tell you what this one's about. But yeah. So I'm just popping back in to say that I have actually DNF'd The Honey Witch. I did start reading this last night and I got maybe sort of just under 60 pages in, and I don't know, this was very different to what I was expecting. The writing style, I don't really know how else to explain it, but the characters just felt very fake and like 2-dimensional. Like, I know they're fake because it's a book, it's not real. This didn't pull me in. I didn't care for the characters. All the characters kind of felt the same. Like, the speech patterns, I think it was just the writing style. It just really wasn't for me, and I'm really gutted because yeah, this cover is absolutely stunning, and yeah, it did kind of sound like my sort of thing, but really wasn't for me. It really was not working. I'm a bit disappointed by it, but yeah, unfortunately this is a DNF. And we'll move on to the final book for this reading vlog, which is going to be Evocation by S.T. Gibson, which I'm very wary of because I did actually DNF A Dowry of Blood by this author, and to be honest, the only reason that I'm picking this up is because it came in a Fairyloot. I wouldn't have picked this up of my own accord. But yeah, maybe we'll be surprised, maybe we'll enjoy it. I know it's got a very different writing style to A Dowry of Blood, which is what I didn't like about A Dowry of Blood. So yeah, hoping that we like this one, but we'll see. Hi guys, I'm just checking back in. I am just about 70 pages through Evocation by St. Gibson. So this one, we're following David, Reese and Moira. So David and Reese dated back in their college days, and they're late 20s, early 30s now, I think. And they broke up, and Reese married a woman called Moira, and they've kind of not really had much contact. They're both members of this like secret society for like the occult. David like can commune with the dead, and there's like, you know, astrology charts and all that kind of stuff. Like they all can do different things. David believes that he is possessed, so he goes to an old woman's house to like commune with her dead husband, and then something weird happens and he thinks that he's now possessed. And then we've just gotten to the point where he's very rich, he comes from like an aristocratic family. He goes to his familial home that's been just abandoned. Something happens to him and he calls Reese and Moira, and Reese go and help him, and they also now think that he is possessed. So I guess they're going to be working together when they don't particularly want to, in order to help him become unpossessed. But it's set in Boston. Like the setting's really cool because it's like modern day, but you've got like secret societies and things like that, which is really cool. The characters are quite interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about like David and Reese. Like, I don't know what's going to happen there, because obviously Reese is now remarried, or he is married to a woman. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this one goes. I'm definitely getting on a lot better with this one than The Honey Witch. I'm interested to carry on with this one, and actually it's not even that long. It's 295 pages long, so I could probably get most of this read today actually. But yeah, we will carry on, and I will probably check back in with you when I'm close to finishing or finished. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. Hi guys, I'm just checking back in. I am just about, I think 223 pages through Evocation, so I've only got about 60-ish pages left. I'm not loving this. So I'm more interested in the like fact that David's potentially possessed. Moira's got her own like occult scrying business. Like, I'm more interested in that side of it. And it's very heavy on, is Reese gonna get back with David, but he's married to Moira, but he has feelings for David, and then maybe David's got feelings for Moira too, and maybe Moira loves him, but I'm not interested in that. The first sort of 100 or so pages were really focused on the demon side, the demon summoning, the occult side, like the society, and we've really divulged from that, and I'm not loving it. I'm really not loving it. And I'm hoping that the last 60 pages maybe we focus a bit more on, because, you know, are they just going to leave David possessed? Like, we've been investigating that, and now we've just completely gone off of that subject, and we've been just going this back and forth, and I'm just not interested in it. I'm really not. Like, I'm a bit disappointed by this one. I'm not really surprised, because I have DNF'd this author before, like I've said, but I'm not loving this one. So we'll see what I think when I finish it. I'll probably finish it tonight, get it done, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed by it, to be honest. Oh well, can't all be winners, can they? Hey guys, I'm just coming in to wrap this vlog up, as I have now finished Evocation by St. Gibson. Oh, this was a 2-star. I did not like this one. The romance, the whole thing there, I wasn't really interested in, and it did take over the story quite a bit. And then the whole demon summoning, like being possessed by a demon, that was literally like wrapped up in a chapter, and I didn't really find it very satisfying. And then it was kind of like they spent the whole book trying to look for a solution to this problem, and then they can't find one, and then suddenly one of the characters was like, oh, I know how to resolve it, and then doesn't explain it to anyone and just does it. And then it just kind of like, okay, cool, so we just don't get any explanation to the solution to this. Yeah, I just don't think this was right. It's not my cup of tea. I don't think this author is for me. Like, this is the second book I've tried. Like, I DNF'd Dowry of Blood. I didn't enjoy this one. I think if they're in another Fairyloot in the future, I'll just skip the box if I know ahead of time, or just not even bother reading it. I just don't think they're for me. And I definitely won't be continuing this series. I know that there's another book coming out next year. Not for me, guys. Not for me. I'm a bit disappointed. I do seem to be in the minority there. I did check Goodreads, and a lot of people have enjoyed this. Whereas, like with The Honey Witch, it seemed like most people didn't. Kind of went a bit downhill for this vlog. So we started off with Bonesmith, which I loved. I gave 4 stars. And then If I Have to Be Haunted was a really fun read, like definitely on the lower end of YA, but I still really enjoyed that one. I gave that one 3 stars. It was a fun read. The Honey Witch, I was so excited to read, and I sadly DNF'd after not enjoying the first 60 pages, and then reading some Goodreads reviews. Nope. And then Evocation 2 stars. So maybe I need to do like a vlog series of, I know Becca in the books, she did like a, is the Goldsboro subscription worth my money? Maybe I need to do that for Fairyloot because I'm kind of feeling like it's not. At this point, I don't really think it is. But yeah, we shall see. So that's going to be it for this reading vlog. I hope you've enjoyed. Comment down below if you've read any of these books. Let me know what you think. And please remember to like this video if you've enjoyed it and subscribe for more bookish content. I post bookish videos every Sunday. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye!